Welcome to the weekly current affairs class. Today we will be dealing with the topics from security and society. So our first topic that we are going to deal with is, you must have read it in the newspapers, regarding scheme for economic empowerment of Dnts. In this particular section we will see what is this scheme, what are its components. Further, we will also try to analyze who are Dnts for whom this scheme is particularly made, and what are the components of the scheme, and what are the issues related to the Dnts. These are the three things that we will be dealing with in detail with respect to this particular section here. So before going on to the scheme, seed scheme, first of all let's understand what is Dnt or what are Dnts. Dnts, they are called as the Denotified Tribes. You must have read it in your class notes or in your newspapers as well. See, who are these communities? These are communities who were notified as being born criminals during the British administration. There were some tribes who were very strongly resisting the British occupation and harassing them. Because Britishers were not able to properly deal with them, they were classified as born criminals during the British regime under the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. So these are the Denotified tribes. How they came to be as known as Denotified, we will also see that. See, first of all, who are Denotified? These are the tribes who were notified as being born criminals during the British regime. Under which act? Under the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. See, what happened was, after independence, to reduce them, to stop these basically stereotypes that were prevailing against these sections, okay, they were removed from this category of criminals and they were classified as Denotified. Earlier they were classified as notified under the Criminal Tribes Act, but after independence, to reduce the stereotypes and stigma that was attached with them, they were classified as Denotified because they were removed from the notified list under the Criminal Tribes Act. They were not to be classified as criminals anymore. So that is how they came to be known as Denotified tribes, tribes who have been removed from the classification of Criminal Tribes Act. See, we have gained independence. You must have heard about the special protections that have been granted to the tribals after the independence, but we will see that how these tribes basically could not get the privilege of those benefits. They were not able to get the fruits of development and thus not able to economically empower themselves. See what happened. First of all, let's look at the statistics. Statistics state that at least 10% of the population of our population is Denotified and nomadic tribes. This is in accordance with the Reinke Commission that was set up by the government in 2008, who states that status of this tribes is 10% of our population and comes to around a number of 10 to 11 crores approximately on the 2001-11 census. So the status that has been given by Reinke Commission in 2008 states that the number of this Denotified tribes is 10%. Okay, so what is the problem, basic problem that is we have, that the Denotified tribes have to deal with? See, first of all, they have been subjugated, persecuted and neglected because over the long period of time they were classified under the Criminals Act. They are still today considered as born criminals. If anywhere crime happens in the society or in the areas close to proximity where these tribes are residing, they are, on the basis of those stereotypes, on the prejudices that are prevalent, they are basically picked up and harassed because they are considered as born criminals. That if some crime has happened, or if something wrong has happened, law and problem is happening in society, it is must these tribes, we must first investigate them. They must have committed this crime. So because of these stereotypes and prejudices, what is happening is that they are subjugated, they are persecuted and neglected in society. Further, because of the colonial government, these stereotypes that are prevalent still today in our society, they are continue to be, their livelihood and their lives continue to be affected even today, even after 70 years of independence. See, and the first of the main problem with respect to this tribe is the alienation that they have to face from their traditional occupations, because obviously if they are tribes, they must be living in proximity to some forest area in the earlier times. So what was happened was that their rights over the forest produce were restricted by the British governments, and because they were classified as criminals under this particular act, what happened was they could not be economically empowered, they could not get the modern education, they could not get modern economic opportunities that were prevalent. So what happened was they remained as hunter gatherers or pastorals, okay, and they still continue to persist there. Even if some of them have migrated to the cities or to the close by urban areas, because of poor education, because of poor economic opportunities, they still continue to work in the informal sector and live in poor slum areas, where we all know that health facilities are not there, hygiene, cleanliness, sanitation is not there. So even today they continue to be deprived of their basic human rights. In nutshell, what we have discussed in this our first slide is, first of all, who are denotified tribes? Obviously the tribes that were notified earlier as born criminals under this act because they were harassing the Britishers and resisting their occupation. So to deal with them, it was notified that they are born criminals. After independence, to remove this stereotype that anybody is not a born criminal, the social circumstances make any individual a criminal in society, so they were removed from this list. And so if this list was denotified, they came to be known as denotified tribes. What is their status? They constitute 10% of our population as per the Renke Commission. What is the basic issue with respect to their livelihood is, because they continue, even today they continue to be stereotyped on the basis of this notification that they are born criminals. If anything happens in society, law and order problem is there, of any horrendous crime has been committed, they continue to be picked up and harassed by the law and order administration. And further, they are alienated from their occupations because earlier they used to live in proximity to the forest areas. So Britishers restricted their rights over the forest areas. Even after independence, we know that until 2006 Forest Right Act, major economic empowerment of the tribals and their rights as such was not majorly recognized by the government. So they were alienated from their traditional occupations, and because they were poor, they did not have access to modern economic opportunities or education, they could not get the fruits of development, and they continue to be hunter gatherers or engaged in pastoral activities. Moving forward, see, the major issue, we will be dealing here with the major issues that are prevalent with respect to the denotified tribes, or what are the basic issues because of which the economic empowerment of DNT is not happening. See, first issue is these tribes have escaped the attention of our constitution makers. How? Because they did not get the status of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. There is a separate classification for them, that is we are calling as denotified tribes. We know that we have specific benefits or specific protection with respect to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, like we have schedule 5 is there, schedule 6 is there, we have affirmative action is there for the scheduled tribes and scheduled castes. But these tribes, Dnts, they do not come in the categories of neither SCs nor STs. So they do not get the benefits that are provided by the constitution for the economic and social empowerment. This is the first issue. Second issue is, it has been the inconsistencies that have been hindering the seed application. Why we are discussing this article even today is because there was a news in the government news in the newspapers that government has invited applications from denotified tribes or other tribes who think that they come in such category to avail the benefits under this particular scheme. So what we have found, that is the major issue with respect to even this particular scheme, is that there have been a lot of inconsistencies, such as a particular, for example, Banjara community is there. It is listed in the scheduled caste categories in Delhi, and it is in the scheduled tribe categories in the Rajasthan, and it is in the OBC list in Uttar Pradesh. There is no such proper classification according in particular states different classifications are there. Somewhere they are recognized as SCs, somewhere they are recognized as STs, and even somewhere they are categorized as other backward classes. So there is no proper classification. If you want to get the or avail the benefits under this particular scheme, you have to come under a particular classification. But if some caste or some tribe is basically notified as a SC, you may not, basically the government may strict the eligibility criteria. So inconsistencies are there with respect to their classification. As such, no uniform classification with respect to denotified tribes is not there. According to the whims of the states, different state governments, they are classified into the different categories, vulnerable section categories. SCs are there, STs are there, or OBCs are there. Next thing is, but the major issue prevalent with respect to them is they are wrongly, like we have already discussed, that they are wrongly stigmatized as crime prone and subjected to high handed treatment as well as exploitation by the representatives and the general society. That if some crime has happened in society, it must be the denotified tribes because they are born criminals. Okay, this is basically depriving them of the basic human dignity, because we are categorizing any individual on the basis of their birth, that if some individual is born in this particular tribe, he will become a criminal. We all know that this is not so the case. Any individual can become the criminal based on the social or economic conditions prevalent in the social arena. So this categorization of as a born criminal is being wrong. So, and because of that they are stigmatized. Another, if we can also quote an example here, if you have seen Delhi Crime 2, the recent web series that have come across, they have very beautifully highlighted the issues of Dnts, denotified tribes, that how the police basically sometimes, or the high-handed individuals, harass the denotified tribes if any horrendous crime has occurred in the society. The next major problem with respect to them is there is no permanent commission for Dnts. As such, we already know that there is a particular what we say body that is there, like National Commission for SCs is there, National Commission for STs is there, then National Commission for backward classes is also there, okay, National Commission for Women is there, but as such no permanent commission for Dnts is there who can highlight their issues, okay, grievances, as well as highlight their issues to the executives or to the legislature, to the MLAs, to the MPs, or to the government representatives, who can better analyze their prospect, who can better analyze their prevalent status, how they can be economically empowered, how they can be socially empowered. As such, no criteria or no body is there to specifically highlight their issues and address their grievances. 4 issues that we have done here, I would again like to repeat them. First of all is, they have escaped the basically attention of constitution makers, because as such no categorization of them is in scheduled caste or scheduled caste is not there. Second, inconsistencies in classification, somewhere they are in not any of the classifications, somewhere they are categorized as SCs, somewhere as STs, somewhere as OBCs. Next one is they are stigmatized because of their categorization earlier in the British time as being born criminals. And last one is that there is no permanent commission to address their grievances and highlight their issues to the government representatives as well as the legislature. So what are the other issues that are prevalent there? See, another issue is with respect to the budgetary allocation. What are the budgetary allocations that the government is doing to economically empower them? What we have seen over the period of time, that budgetary allocation has been reduced to just 28 crores for the 2022, and it was 50 crores for the year 2021 and 22. So this hinders the capacity of even if you have launched some specific schemes or projects to economically or socially empower these groups, but if budgetary allocation is not there, how will these schemes function? So this hinders the capability of the schemes and addresses to the needs of the citizens. The scheme, that particular scheme or that particular project will not be able to address the needs and aspirations of this particular section. At 10%, it is a very large number, and a meager allocation of 28 crores is not going to effectively empower or socially empower these particular groups. Further, they have no benefit of reservation, because I have in first point we have already told you that as such there is no proper classification of these groups. So what is happening is sometimes they are neither in any of the classifications. Because they are not in any classification, they do not get the reservation benefit or affirmative action benefit of neither the SCs nor of that of the STs that is given to them. So there is no special schedule in the constitutional to protect their rights. For example, we have different two schedules. One is schedule 5 is there, schedule 6 is there. In that also there is classification with respect to Assam, Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya, that is there. But as such they do not come in any category. So there is no any constitutional provision to protect them, nor do they get the benefit of reservation. These are the specific issues that are being faced by this particular section of society. Moving forward, we will discuss now what is this particular scheme that has been launched earlier, and now government has invited the applications from the denotified tribes to become eligible under this scheme. So what is this particular scheme, the benefits that it is providing? The first benefit is with respect to, it has 4 components. Okay, the benefit is with respect to educational empowerment. You must have studied in your classes that to economically empower or to socially empower any category or any vulnerable section of society, the best way is to educationally empower them, because if there is education then there will be skills. If there are skills then you will have a job. If you will have a job then you will be having more income. Further, with education you will have more awareness with respect to your civil and political rights. That is how you can economically and socially empower the particular vulnerable section of the society. So in educational empowerment, the government has stated that we will be providing free coaching to students from these communities for civil services. This is the first component. Second is we will be considering special privileges for services or entry to the professional courses like medicine is there, engineering is there, MBA is there, etc., or if any other educational category you want to join. Next benefit is under the health insurance. Government provides to empower to improve their health indicators, because already they are poor, and they are economically backward. They do not have access to health infrastructure, and government aims at extending the government infrastructure to improve their health indicators. And for that, government has stated that our health insurance programs, that is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana of National Health Authority, the tribes that will be eligible under this seed schemes, they will have health insurance under the PM Jan Arogya Yojana, and thus can be protected from any health disease or any health emergency that they are facing or that is prevalent within a particular family. Next thing is to improve their livelihood. How the livelihood can be improved? By supporting income generation, by providing economic opportunities. If through economic opportunities they will be getting the jobs, and through jobs they will improve their income, and when the income will improve, obviously their quality of life will also improve. So government aims to improve their livelihood through the income generation. And last and the most important component is for any individual, and specifically for the marginalized or the vulnerable section of society, it is necessary that if you want to remove the slums, okay, or you want to basically restrict ill-planned development or the ill-planned infrastructure creation, it is necessary that there should be affordable housing provisions. Okay, and government aims to extend the affordable housing provisions to these denotified tribes through Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So these are the 4 components of this seed scheme. Again I will repeat it. First of all is educational empowerment. Government has stated that can be done through by providing free coaching for civil services, by providing access to professional courses. Second one, to improve the health indicators, government aims to extend the insurance benefits, that is PM Jan Arogya Yojana. To improve the livelihood quality of life, government aims to support them through income generation activities. And to basically for affordable housing, government aims to extend them by the benefit under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. These are the 4 components of this scheme. Moving forward, see, if the question comes in your mains examination with respect to these denotified tribes, or what are the issues that they are facing, or they can ask why they are still educationally or economically basically backward, what are the reasons, or whatsoever question they may ask, you can always quote this particular commission, IDate commission. Okay, it was set up specifically for the denotified and nomadic tribes in February 2014. Okay, to prepare a state-wise list of castes belonging to denotified and semi-nomadic tribes under the chairmanship of Bhikkhu Ramji Idate. Okay, this specifically commission was evaluated, and what it specifically stated that it was tasked to evaluate the progress of the development of these communities in states, so that a systematic approach can be developed for the development of these communities. So, you in your answers you can always quote that if we want to economically and socially empower these particular communities or this vulnerable section of society, we should adhere to the recommendations of IDate commissions. They should be implemented so that the basic dignities or their fundamental right under Article 21, that is right to life, can be protected. So, this was all that was there with respect to the denotified tribes. Question can be asked with respect to your prelims exam. This particular scheme, seed scheme, can be asked, or even in mains exam with respect to that who are denotified tribes are there, or why they are economically socially backward, or why basically they do not have access to benefits. These type of questions can be asked in mains, and for that you can always quote this particular commission. Even in prelims exams, this particular commission can be asked that this commission is related to which basically category, or what was it related to, or why was it set up. So, you already know that this was set up with respect to the commission for denotified nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes. Okay, this was our topic 1 with respect to the society. Now, moving forward to the security part, you must have read the article that came in the newspaper with respect to the cyber threat to mobile banking. Okay, cyber threat to mobile banking. So, what this article particularly stated, that it talked about two things. First of all, one is a malware and second one is a Trojan. Okay, so we will be discussing first of all what is malware and what is Trojan. See, malware is a malicious software that alters your program or the device, technological device, that may be a computer, laptop, or a mobile, anything that your digital device that you are having, and it makes a device function against the will of the owner. Basically, you no longer have a control on your mobile, because anything can be stolen, anything can be critically leaked because of this if this software, particular malware, has been penetrated into your digital device. So, what is Trojan? Trojan, see, it is a type of malware. It comes under the category. There are different types of malwares, and one such category under them is the Trojan. So, what is Trojan? It is basically disguised first of all as a legitimate program. You will see that a particular program that is there, or a particular page that may be there, or a app may be there, you will see that it is a very legitimized as that I should download it or I should open that particular page, but it is disguised to look as legitimate. It contains some malicious software or virus, and what happens is when you download it or when you open that particular page, it steals information or crucial information from the mobile of the users. That is a Trojan. Trojan basically hidden in your computer device that you are not able to see, or even if you see that particular application or page, you will see that it is a legitimate program. There is nothing wrong in it. That is basically the name why that is there, Trojan. What are the examples of this? R2D2 was there, then Swiss Money Pencer was there. Okay, according to see the reports by Deep Instinct, a particular organization conducted the reports. It stated that malware attacks increased by 358% in 2020 against 2019. So, you can see the rapid increase in the number of malware attacks. You can obviously link with respect to the technology, basically emergence that is there, okay, or basically fourth industrial revolution that we are going through, that is basically because feature phones are a thing of a past. Everything is moving to a digital space, whether that is the services that are provided by the government, or whether that is the services provided by the private sector, or whether there is a critical information that is also stored in the digital devices nowadays. So that is why in aftermath of these technological developments, we see that the malware attacks have increased by 358%. So first of all, again, what is malware? What is Trojan? Malware is a program that basically makes the device function against the will of the owner. That device may be a computer, mobile, laptop, anything that may be there. Or what is Trojan? Trojan is one of a types of malware basically that is looked or made to look as a legitimate program. When you download it or when you open that particular page on the website, it penetrates into your digital device and it steals crucial information from the users. Moving forward, what more does this particular article stated? It also highlighted the process. Like I have already told you, first of all, what will happen is that if a user clicks on a link, that link may be provided to you through the email that is there, okay, or SMS may be there, any mechanism, a link will be sent to you, and when you will open that particular page, you will be redirected to a phishing page, and this phishing page will basically, it will steal your information by penetrating into computer. Whenever you will put the login details, that may be with respect to your social media, okay, or it may be with respect to your debit card or basically credit card details, okay, or any crucial information or any crucial login details regarding anything, or maybe with respect to your company where you are working, that maybe they have provided you some login details to log into their portals, any crucial information. Whenever you will log in your particular credentials, the attacker will get to know the user's device and login details because of this particular link program that they have sent to you. Because of that program or that software, malicious software that has penetrated into your digital device. Moving forward, see what are the issues, why this type of things keeps on happening, okay, what is the issue with respect to this? See, first of all is a lack of cyber security infrastructure. Our security infrastructure is not up to date with respect to the emerging technology. The kind of emerging technologies we are seeing in today nowadays, we are lagging behind with respect to the creation of infrastructure that can protect us from the vulnerability of those emerging technologies, okay. Second issue, we do not have so much of the technical experts, talent that can basically develop such softwares or such programs that can protect us against such malicious attacks. We do not have proper data security regime. You must have seen many a times that particular banks, okay, whenever they are attacked, the number of informations with respect to account details get leaked online. You do not have much security details with respect to your privacy, okay, although we have made right to privacy a fundamental right under Article 21, but we have already discussed in our last videos also that government has taken back the data protection bill that was there. As such, no concrete legal mechanism exists basically which can protect the autonomy and privacy of the individuals. So the major issue is basically lack of human resource and talent, okay, that can develop against programs or such softwares that can protect us against malicious talent. One. Next issue is with respect to data security, data is not protected, and last one is with respect to privacy here. See, next one is there is no campaign by banks to aware the citizens about such phishing attacks are there or malware attacks are there. If you have come across, you must have seen Jamtara, that is there, okay, web series. They have highlighted how basically phishing attack happens. As such, banks do not have taken the concrete steps or the measures where they can basically aware the citizens about what is phishing, what are malware attacks, how they can penetrate into your systems, or how you can protect your basically mobile apps or your mobile devices against such malicious attacks. Further, another issue is there is poor security of banking apps or mobile softwares. Banking apps are poorly coded, Okay, that is why basically or they are not technically updated from time to time, because of which the loopholes continue to exist, and this type of malicious softwares, they keep on penetrating into the digital devices of the users. Even with respect to the mobile softwares, we have seen many a times, for example, Android software system is there, many a times they have been basically accused of not doing enough to protect the software from the malicious attacks of malwares or Trojan malwares. Okay, even if you will come across that government has now been banning the Vivo and all that mobile phone, Chinese mobile phone companies that are there, because of their malicious mobile softwares that backhand provide or collect information with respect to the devices. Another issue is poor awareness among citizens. Citizens themselves are not aware about the cyber threats that they are feeling. We do not verify the phishing attacks that are there or the links that are sent to us, whether it is legitimate or not legitimate. Without thinking or without analyzing it, we open that links and help basically penetrate this software into our devices. Or if phishing call is made to you, many of individuals are not aware basically whether that phone call is from a legitimate bank user or basically calling team that is there. Citizens are not themselves aware about these, what is malware, what is Trojan that is there, how they penetrate into the computer. Many of the individuals who are digitally illiterate, they do not know basically that if you will open a lending that this link site is there, how that can basically software can penetrate into the systems. This is because of digital illiteracy also. Next issue is basically there are inadequate government policies, regulations and laws that can fix the accountability of these banking apps, banking individuals are there, or the mobile companies that are there, that if the information of individual is stolen because of the loophole or the technical glitch in the banking site or the glitch in the particular mobile software, this we need a strong policy, regulation or law that basically can fix the accountability of the companies because of their technical glitches the software was able to penetrate into the digital device. So these are the issues why these type of attacks keep on happening. First of all is a lack of cyber security infrastructure. Second thing is lack of technical expertise. Third one is banks are not making the citizens aware. You can also link with here that citizens themselves are also not aware. Next thing is poor security of banking app and mobile softwares. And last one is we do not have enough policy, regulations and laws to fix the accountability of banking companies as well as the mobile companies. So what should be done to protect us from this basically this kind of what we say malicious attacks that are happening? So first of all is, just give me a second. See, first of all is we need to strengthen our cyber security policy. We need to look into the emerging technologies or the emerging cyber threats that are happening, and we need to continuously analyze what needs to be done to protect us from these malicious attacks. Our cyber security infrastructure needs to be upgraded at a continuous scale. Okay, that is a fun thing. Second thing is with respect to training of the human resource to meet the demand of technical experts, that human resources that is capable enough to develop new softwares, to develop new technologies that can help us basically protect against this such type of malicious attacks. Next one is fixing accountability of tech companies. The companies I have already told you, banking companies are there or mobile companies are there. If they are not basically updating their infrastructure to protect us from such attacks, they needs to be held liable. What citizens on themselves on their part can do is they can reboot the phones regularly. Okay, and last one is fixing loopholes in the banking apps, because we are moving to a financial inclusion space where more of digital transactions are happening now. Government has taken number of initiatives with respect to like UPI transactions are there, DBT is there, even private sectors most or even the public sectors have banking apps. Internet banking is taking place, so we need to fix the loopholes in banking apps, so that these malwares do not penetrate into our systems. So this was there with respect to security. Moving forward to next, this is relevant for our prelims exams. Vostok exercise is going on. See, this exercise is basically significant because we all know that India and China are having the border clashes, okay, and our border agreement has not been final. There is some bit of thaw in our basically relationship, but the exercise is significant because India and troops from China both are participating in this particular exercise. It is hosted by Russia. So the number of things can be asked. For example, this exercise may be asked who is hosting it. It may be asked Russia, or it may be asked whether India participated in this exercise along with China or not. The most crucial thing that needs to be looked at is that India is taking part in the military exercise, that the war games that will be happening. India will be a part of that contingent, but it will stay away from the naval drills. Naval exercises it will not be taking, because considering the sensitivity of Japan, we all know that China and Japan basically they are not also having a easy relationship. So because of that, and even China, now Russia is there, they are not having easy relationship. Okay, so that is why India will not be participating in the naval exercises there, but it will be a part of exercise, both India and China military army exercise that will be going on. So this will be helpful for your preliminary exams. That was all that was there with respect to this week's current affairs from security and society. All the best for your future endeavors. We will meet next week.